We are here at another episode of Toxic is the New Masculinity. This is a show where we got three guys that are just talking about manhood. And a lot of times in the world, in the society, a lot of times manhood is not talked about in a positive light. It's always called toxic. So we want to show you that manhood is not toxic. So welcome to another edition of Toxic is the New Masculinity. And I got to my left here, I got my man Bossy. I keep telling y'all Bossy won't give us his real government, so I think he hired somebody. Then I got my man Keith, a.k.a. KY. What's going on, man? How you fellas doing?
Man, doing good, man. Enjoying the holidays and
I
getting through this
enjoying
thing.
it yet, man.
You enjoying it?
Credit card bills coming in. Shit.
Say, man.
Hey, look.
Say, man, let me tell you something. With the credit card bills and all the other holiday bills, I just want to welcome you guys to manhood, okay? Listen, we don't want to hold you guys too long. We want to jump right into our subject. There was a song that we listened to not too long ago that Keith actually shared with me, and it was by an artist named Dax, and it was How to Be a Man. And so the thing is that the song hit me on a nerve, man, that I was like, yo, this is something so deep that I don't think we get a chance to talk about, because what happens is there's a struggle that goes on in what we feel internally versus what society say we should be. And by society, as a whole, a lot of that, because of who we deal with, are women. So as women saying, well, you're not a real man if you don't do this, you don't do that. And then the thing is, when you do operate in your full masculinity, well, you're toxic. And you're toxic. I can't believe you think that way. But you know what? The thing is, a lot of times we hear, well, I want honesty. Okay, that's how I honestly feel. I can't believe you think that way. Wait a minute. Do you want honesty or do you want me to make you feel good, right? Yeah. So To Be a Man by Dax, man, was a song that I think each and every one of you should go out and listen to, male and female, because you'll get a chance to kind of hear a lot of the things that men go through. And I think it was a well put together song, and we wanted to talk about that. And so one of the lyrics at the end of during the chorus is, it's a lonely road. They don't care about what you know and not about what you feel, but just what you provide inside that home, right? Yeah, and I think we all understand that you are operating in a performance-based job, right?
Absolutely.
And the thing is, so
and the deck is not equally stacked.
The deck is not equally stacked. Now here's the thing, though. But okay, so and as we roll through these topics, I'm glad you brought that up. The deck is not equally stacked, but we also understand that there are double standards on everything.
Absolutely.
We sign up for this. We know what it is, right? We got some that benefit us,
right?
And women got some that benefit them,
right?
My issue is that sometimes when people only want to point out double standards that don't benefit them.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And so as a man, we understand, and I say this as we get into this, the number one thing I think as a man you start to understand is that at a certain point, your feelings are not going to be considered.
At a certain point. When you say, wait, hold on, at a certain point, like never. Like absolutely never.
Off the rip.
We can start right there. The fact that as a man, right, when you say you graduate, when you get your degree in manhood, the last class you take, your dissertation to graduate is how you think, how you feel, no matter how right it is, no matter how intelligent it is, no matter how well researched, thought out, or how it's communicated, is wrong, right? And you have to accept that.
You got to accept that. You got to accept that.
Yeah.
And I hear a lot of ladies saying, that's not true. We care about how you feel. And I'm like,
you care about how I feel when it conveniences you. You don't really care about how I feel. Because if you cared about how I feel, you will really want to hear how I feel when you say, do I look fat in this dress? Or when you come home and your hair is tore up and you say, give me your honest opinion. That's jacked up. No, you don't want to really hear how I feel.
So I got this thing, and I say to my wife, and she hates it. So when she watches this episode, she's gonna get mad all over again. But I got to say,
I'm already in trouble the first 5 minutes.
Well, look. So the thing is, I say, listen, you don't. The best relationship are built on lies. She hates that because I know she's going to the extreme. Right. I'm not talking about the extreme. I'm lying about who I'm with. No.
You're not talking about deception.
No, I'm talking about that.
You're talking about protection. Projection light.
I like that. I like that. So she says, I can't believe that you believe that, you think that. And I said, okay, like you said, and I know this ain't everybody, but do I look fat in this? Do she really want to hear? Yes. Or do she want, babe, I love you. That dress is it. No matter what you feel.
Or like, you can't express it the way you want to express it with the emphasis you want to.
Because you ain't saying
It's
it
not
with
even
love.
an expression.
You ain't saying it with love,
It's not an
bossy.
expression.
You
You know what you
gotta
want.
sit. You gotta. Well,
You asked
baby,
me a
I'm not gonna
coach,
say you look
hey.
fat. You look different.
No, you asking me a coach's question, but you want me to be a cheerleader.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, break that down.
It's the outcome.
Yeah.
A cheerleader is going. You know, it's kind of something that actually I was talking about a couple of days ago, right? Where actually it was on a sports show. You know, we was talking about like the season, and the guy said, "Bossy, you just being negative." I said, "Wait, am I being negative, or I'm saying the reality you don't want to hear?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I said, because being positive, for example, if you're a person who's sick, have a terminal disease, right? You could be positive about it, right?
The outcome
but
is the
that
same.
doesn't change the outcome.
The outcome is the same.
I said, so don't tell me I'm being negative because I'm focusing on the outcome.
Right.
You know?
Well, you say outcome, that's the problem. Women live in the process. Men live in the outcome.
Okay. So now
Yeah,
there was a
T-Bone,
lot
get
of
us back
different
on
there was a
track.
lot of different
Yeah,
topics.
yeah. Yeah, we
inside
just
of the
jumped
song.
at it. Yeah, we
no,
jumped out.
but listen, there was a lot of different topics in the song. So as I went through the song and I
Yeah.
listened to every artist, because there's an extended version that you got to check out. It has a bunch of different artists on there,
Yeah.
and they all talked about different things in their verse, right?
Right,
And I wanted
right.
to run through some of these.
Okay.
One is the pressure to perform. So as a man, do you feel pressure to perform and to be on top of your game?
Absolutely, because
absolutely,
if
100%.
I slip, society comes to rip me. If she slipped, why did I let her slip? Because I'm the head of the household.
And the fact of the matter is in that venue, you're always, the man in that situation, are always living up to an expectation, right? That you didn't outline. So you really have no control over it. You following? So in other words, the standard is being set. You know, the requirements of that standard are never set by you to do.
That's set
All
by
right?
somebody else.
It's set by somebody else.
Yeah.
Maybe her circle of friends, you know, her experiences, you know what I mean? And you're never even given the playbook for it. It's like it's a mark set up there that you can never hit because you never got the rules. You know?
But you know, that goes on both sides because you understand, everybody grew up in a different
Understand
household.
that. We talking about our side right now.
Bring it back, Boston. Bring it back. He tried to go make some things soft and put some carrots on it.
I'm just saying.
The new masculinity, dude.
I'm just saying.
There's no estrogen up there.
So on the testosterone level,
Yeah.
you gotta understand. So we grew up visualizing what family looks like,
Okay.
what's perceived to be a man. You know, what our uncles taught us, what our fathers taught us, even influenced by your friend, you know, not friends, but you're influenced by outside entities in your neighborhood, or people who you looked at, okay, that looks like the right thing to do at a childhood age. And now we bring that to the table, and then we don't understand it later on. Some of them things we valued, even from our parents, was like, hey, wait a minute now.
Because you really get a chance to see the real inner workings, even of your parents' relationship.
Go to the back room, we gotta talk.
Yeah, you didn't get a chance. So you had to kind of piece together what you wasn't taught and what you saw visually, right?
Exactly.
And so when we talk about the pressure to perform, you know, this is, like I said, this is a performance-based situation because, see, we even have a biological setup to where we have to perform. So this is a conversation I even had at home, and I said, I told my wife, I said, you don't even understand biologically. I said, now, if what the way you understand is usually if you can't have a child. That's not the majority for most women. Most women can have a child.
Right.
But watch this. How many women have left their man for erectile dysfunction?
I don't know. Is the stats out on that?
I don't know. But I've had some conversations where she was still with him, but she talked about him like a dog. And first of all, I didn't even know this lady. Why do I know your husband had erectile dysfunction? Which means that, I mean, she was already belittling him because why? He could not perform.
Right.
And so biologically, we even have something in this where we have to be able to perform to stay on top of our game. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's another pressure that you guys got to understand, that there's like you said, there's a mark out there that we are consistently trying to reach because the goalpost keeps moving.
Right. And again, it's not set by us. You know, it's an amazing thing, and it's going to open a whole can of worms, but obviously I don't care. But it's an amazing thing, like you were talking about before. We're talking about, you know, the expectation to perform. And you were saying earlier about double standards, right? You know, I love our women, particularly our black women, right? And when you listen to them talk about themselves, right, it's in a manner of like leadership. It's in a manner of like allness, right, about how great they are, not to deny that they aren't. You know what I mean? How wonderful they are, and how you need to come at them with their worth, right? And it's interesting, you know. To me, it reminds me of Shaq and Kobe, right? That philosophy in me is one like the center. You just stand in the paint and you get all the rewards for the passes. You ain't got to do no work for it. You just show up and say, perform for me. You know what I mean?
The mindset, the entitlement mindset.
Exactly. That's what, righteous entitlement for the most part.
Okay.
Right?
So now how deep you want me to go with this?
Go for it.
Okay, so you want to talk about when a man can't get it up? You know that's on the woman, don't you?
No.
No, I'm finna take you. I'm finna take you. Listen, let me take
not
it.
erectile dysfunction.
That's an internal thing.
No, I'm finna
that's
take
biological.
I'm finna take you there. And
Okay,
I'm talking
biological.
You know, so you know when they say your testosterone level drops, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it's because the need is not required. So when the need is just like in the weight room, if you don't use it, lose it, that's really a street term. It's like, okay, if I'm not desired, the body's saying, "Hey, why you're not desired?"
So your testosterone levels go
They
low.
don't because you don't need them, and it's between your ears. I'm lock in. We'll come back to the next show. We'll find it.
So you telling me that the finest of the fine girl come up here that says I want you automatically start working?
No, you're missing it. If you hear no so many times, I'm talking about the married dude, or I'm talking about if you're in a relationship. You know, if you always get no. Bro, you ain't using it.
Nah, KY.
And I'm talking about, and it's a mental deal because it's three things that take testosterone to work. So you just think, hey, it's just there. It's three things between your ears to get it to work. And if those things don't trigger,
and turning 60 got nothing to do with it. Because I'm gonna tell you what. Listen.
Hey,
hold on.
If you're 60-year, let me tell you this. I bet you I can find some 60-year-old dudes. If they with a young chick who want it every night, I bet you they in there.
KY.
I bet you they in there.
Listen.
With the help of Viagra.
This called analogy. This called analogy. There are things that come with old age, right? You have seen me 30 years ago run a 4.4. You've seen that, all right? I'm 56 now. Me not running a 4.4, I ain't got a damn thing to do with me not exercising.
Okay. Now,
56, I just can't do that no more.
So let me ask you this. If you found, and we jump subject, if we found...
we got to hear it, though. We got to hear it.
If you found a 60-year-old dude running a 4.4, would you be like, man, ask that dude, how'd you get to run a 4.4? I never stopped running.
Okay.
I never stopped running.
Listen.
If you're in the weight room...
I'm just going to say...
You're in the weight room... Hey, how many years ago we was in the weight room?
You ain't bench like you ain't gonna find too many 60-year-old dudes still in the weight room benching 450 either.
Because I never stopped.
No, I'm trying to tell you.
I had surgery and I never stopped.
No, I'm trying to tell you. There are guys at the gym. I'm positive there are guys at the gym work out every day. At 65, he can't bench what he did at 30. It's just
it's not gonna happen.
Listen, I look and read every day. I look and read every day.
We're gonna look that up. We're gonna look that one up.
I look and read every day. I can promise you, my eyes at 56 ain't like they was at 30. I'm trying to tell you that.
You use your eyes there, bro. I just said the testosterone. Now y'all went up and down the whole body.
So listen, we're gonna get some research on that. So a lot of times when we're talking about performing, so what happened is technically, if you can't perform, you start feeling less than,
yeah.
right? You start feeling like
Right.
you can't really, do what it is you feel that you
It's a
are
definite-
required to do, right?
It's a check to your masculinity, without a doubt.
So now the thing is that now we get into expressing feelings. One of the artists, his verse was pretty much expressing your feelings. Do you think, in general, because we don't have to talk about just our personal life. We know men and men know men and things like that. Do you think, in general, men get a safe space to express their true feeling?
I'm gonna tell you something about feelings. When we express our feelings, somehow the female ends up being the victim and we're the villain. And I'm like, well, I started out with my feelings. How we get to your feelings?
That happens.
You ever shifted that?
That
you ever
happens.
shifted on you?
But I think
I come here like, I feel like this way. Like,
I think there's like that globally. I think men in general, we don't feel we got a safe space to land to express us. Even like it don't even have to be an environment where women are included. If I just meet T right now, if I just meet him, I'm less than inclined to really tell him about me. That's how dudes just do. Matter of fact, man, wifey gonna kill me for this. Matter of fact, we got a little girl that's in soccer, right? And it's interesting just to watch the dynamic of when the family gets together, the parents get together, how the women just go like right to each other and just start talking. Wifey would come back. Hey, this person basically told all their business.
Yeah.
That's what they do, right? They just tell all their business, right? But us, that's not
not how we gonna generally operate. No, we not gonna generally operate that.
Well, now it's something about us. We cut from a different cloth when it comes down.
That's the point.
If you
I'm
tell
making.
me, hey, bro, I'm gonna tell you the secret,
But
and you're like, hey, man, it's locked tight.
But bring it to you. But what I'm saying is, with your women,
right?
With your women, that safe space. I've heard from a lot of brothers that it's not always, you don't always feel the ability to really express how you feel, because right now there's a big cry out right now for women that says that you're emotionally unavailable. You don't express your feelings with me. Matter of fact, there's a guy that I watch and follow, him and his wife, named Kevin, on stage, right? And they had a whole deal, and his wife was telling him, I didn't like the fact that you just couldn't express your thoughts and your feelings and your worries and your concerns.
Was it for her or for him?
But see, it was for her.
Okay, so now, once again, they want the cheerleader. They don't want the coach.
And my point to this was when you talk about feelings for men, okay, as the coach, because we talk about this aspect a lot, as the coach, hey man, time is running down. All right, Bossy, you the star player. All right, Keith, we're gonna pass this ball to Bossy. Bossy's gonna hit the jump shot. We're gonna get out this game with a win. Bossy 2 for 15 today. As the coach, I really don't think Bossy can hit the shot. But I can't come to the huddle and say that, can I? I can't. First of all, if I give you the shot and you not the shooter, Bossy looking at me like, what's going on? So I got to set the player for Bossy because he been a shooter all year. But I say, man, Bossy ain't making this shot. But if I come to the huddle and say, Boss, I don't think you'll hit the shot, man, but Keith gonna give you the ball and do what you do. Now you say, well, coach don't even believe in me. As a coach, as a man in your house, again, your feelings, I can't always express those feelings. Because if I express my feelings, everybody could fall down.
Now you gotta understand, as men too, we don't operate in a feeling situation.
No.
We don't operate in feelings. So for us to express feelings,
it's hard to be in leadership
and express, because you gotta understand, if me and Bossy balling together, and that's my boy, and you the coach, and you like, hey, Keith, you out, Bossy in. You ain't finna sit. I've been playing all night, now Bossy in. You ain't gonna sit here and say, hey, man, let me explain to you what happened, man. I know you ain't feeling good about this, but Bossy, hey, man, no. Yeah. Coach form is Bossy in, Keith, you out. That's it.
Yeah.
And as men, you gotta understand, we play a lot of team sports growing up.
Right.
That's
an environment we are very comfortable with. And you're always a product of your experience, right? And so that's an environment we are comfortable with. And that's a communication we're used to. Where when it comes down to a decision, feelings are quickly put aside because there's a goal or there's something that has to be established relatively quickly, and the only way it's going to get there is brutal honesty for the most part.
Yeah.
And with us, a lot of times when we're communicating to women, right, they generally want it placed on a plate that they can digest.
Yeah.
All right, and that plate that they can digest isn't necessarily brutal honesty.
Right.
That's not what they want to hear.
So do you bury your feelings? Do you feel that you bury your feelings internally because you don't feel you can express them?
Absolutely.
If I operated
on a
feelings,
regular basis.
if I operated on feelings, it'd be a lot of hurt feelings. Trust.
And again, that's a realm we are not allowed to go to.
Yeah.
And typically that realm is set by females.
Right.
You know what I mean? We had a discussion. The point, before I say what I'm about to say, I want to say, the point I'm making is about losing control. That's the point.
Yeah.
It's not about domestic violence. But one time me and you had a conversation, right? And we said it's interesting how women have established themselves that if they lose control,
They're probably picking up all that on the microphone.
Right. I'm sorry?
All right, so you're probably picking up
my
all of
bad.
it.
I'm sorry. But if women lose control, they feel it's okay to have an outlet of physical violence.
I have had ladies tell me, and I say, listen, nobody should put their hands on anybody, and no matter if the woman hits you, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. And so I said, well, wait a minute. So you're telling me? She said, well, because sometimes y'all deserve it. I said, wait a minute. I said, so why? I said, so tell me why we shouldn't put our hands on you. She said, because you are the physically stronger species. I said, all right, great. I'm glad you said that. I said, so we're not only the physically, we have to be the mentally and emotionally stronger. I said, so tell me in my face right now that men are stronger emotionally and physically than women. And she wouldn't do it.
Right.
You know what? I said, no, you told me. No matter what she does,
right.
Now, because I'm physically, I have to be mentally too.
Exactly.
So tell me we're mentally stronger than women. And she wouldn't do it. I said, so your whole notion is debunked for that reason. Because the thing is that you can't dictate what somebody do back to you. We understand. That's why us sitting around talking, we understand the low-level threat of violence that could happen.
Well, you gotta understand. The man, as a man point of view, we don't operate on what we can control. We also operate what we can't control.
What we can't control.
Now it's like if I hit this dude, I know I can hit. I got the freedom to hit him.
Gotcha.
But what's the consequence? See, we think consequences.
Okay. Now, so with this question, we're talking about feelings, right? And again, we're talking about Dax, How to Be a Man, and we're talking about or To Be a Man, the name of his song, and the different things that the artist talked about. So I asked you guys, do you feel safe expressing yourself, or do you feel like you bury your feelings? Now I'm gonna ask you this: as a man, are you being fair to your wife by not expressing your feelings?
Absolutely not.
The initial answer to that is no. Right, but going back to the safety issue, right? Sometimes, I would even say more often than not, choosing the path of less resistance and burying your feelings is the only way to resolution. And I don't think women understand how many razor blades we swallow to get to that point.
But now you put me in a passive man position.
But you say you're not being fair.
Right.
I answered the question.
I know. I'm at. Okay, I want to make sure we're clear.
That's with wifey, girlfriend, your boy, anybody else. Because you know what? I'm over here. There's something else running through me that you have no idea. So is that fair? And so I'm a boomerang back to express. Is it fair? No, because you know what? Two things happen here. You don't give me a stage to express my feelings. Because you don't want to hear my feelings, because my feelings hurt your feelings. So now your feelings get interjected and oversee my feelings. So you know what? What I say, this ain't worth it.
Yeah, but that's what he's saying, though. It's not. It's
not fair, though.
No, here's the way I'm taking what T is saying, right? Typically, when there's a moment of confrontation, right, there's information that can be shared to you about you that you're not going to like,
Right.
but that can improve you as a person.
Right.
So
I'm with that.
as a dude, right? A lot of times that information that could be beneficial for her, you choose not to say. Because ultimately, even though it be beneficial for her, it's not going to be received the right way. And then you then went down to a whole nother level of controversy and aggravation that you don't want to even deal with. So what you're trying to do is just to keep the peace. You just either shut up or just say what she wants to hear, not
Right.
really what she needs to hear.
Here go that cheerleader again.
No, but
Rah rah.
but regardless the point is, it's not fair to her because she doesn't allow a spectrum or an area for you to really be real with her
Right.
to tell things to make herself
It's
better.
not, So you're saying it's not fair to her.
So no, it's not fair to her, but she sets the environment where you can't be.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
She
Yeah,
can't-
yeah. I think we were saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you got to give me a stage.
Yeah.
If it's not a stage there that I feel comfortable on and give me the mic and say, here, I can talk, then
And so, you know, even with that, so now I think a little bit of that starts to bleed into what one of the other artists was talking about was the pride. So I think, you know, we understand the Bible says pride comes before the fall, right? There's a level of, I don't know how to quantify this, but there is a level of pride in the work you do and the person you are that is in place, right? Half the time, if we're real with it, it was a little bit of your pride and what they call arrogance and everything else that attracted your woman to you, right? But for your pride as a man, how do you navigate that powerful feeling of I'm the man, I can't even show these emotions, and I need to make sure that I am operating in a sense that I'm operating a betterment for my family in disregard of my own self?
that was a lot of questions.
Okay. So how do you navigate your pride for the betterment of your family at the detriment of you?
That's hard. I got to think about that for a second.
I would say this. First of all, I got to humble myself. Because if I bring pride into the situation, now I got a shield. So first of all, let me put my shield down. Then let me put my sword down. Now understand, that's a sacrifice because I'm at the strength. And you know, it's almost like this. T, I can kill you right now, bro. I got a gun, but I'm going to set it down right here. We in confrontation, whatever, I'm going to set it down right here. I'm showing you I have the strength to do what I want to do, but I choose not to do what I want to do. Set pride aside.
Okay.
And that was a very
Repeat the
dramatic way to say it.
How do you navigate?
How
How do you navigate your pride for the betterment of your family?
Yeah.
Even if you feel like it's at the detriment of you, because sometimes
Yeah.
it is our pride that's trying to protect us.
Right, because I can say, and using that situation I just told you, you just cut me with a knife. I said, bro, I got the upper hand on you. I'm going to set this down, and let's get this straight. Then we're
Yeah.
going to get me to the hospital.
And you know, you know, I think sometimes where we talk about even in response back to our significant other, sometimes you do feel cut.
Yeah, that's a
And you
cut.
saying,
Oh, yeah.
I could really,
Rip you apart.
and I'm gonna tell you,
Yeah.
if we honest, because see, we fight with hands.
Right.
Women fight with words.
Right.
Because a lot of times on the flip side, if they get cut, it's
Well, and G, I'm not even talking about it. I can cut you up more with my mouth than I can with my hand.
but you know what? Here's the thing, but that's not how you're gonna generally fight me.
No.
In your relationship as a man, as we talking about in the confines of your
if you want
relationship,
to, about 2 words in.
you know what I'm saying? So we gonna necessarily what we gonna necessarily do is gonna get to a level we're gonna say, hey man,
What we doing?
yeah, at this point what we doing. So a lot of times,
Yeah.
but we do understand that a lot of times, you know, pride comes from your ego and things.
Yeah.
But a lot of times you are trying to say, man, I feel like I'm catching the short end of the stick, and my pride ain't gonna let me.
Right. You gotta. You know what? That's that deal. Like, you know what? I'm gonna like he said, I'm gonna make a conscious decision right here. We'll table this for later on, cause right now this ain't. Now I'm very alert on that deal. I'm like, this ain't gonna go well, and this I ain't got another 2 hours to deal with you talking on this. So you know what? Let's cut.
Well, I think if we just talk about the realms of relationship, male and female relationship, man, it sounds corny and repetitive, but the environment that is established in a relationship determines everything when it relates to pride. Because nobody's going to lay down their pride where they don't feel safe, or it's going to where it don't feel like the repercussions is going to.
Good point.
Because like even here, like we no dude, at least no guy I know, right? He get in an argument with his lady.
Yeah.
Right. He get in an argument with his lady. Okay. Matter of fact, I give you a real world situation. Girl I dated one time, right? Dated one time, we were going somewhere, right? And this is before GPS and all this stuff. She wrote down the instructions for me, right? I forgot the instructions. I had a general idea where we were going, but I forgot the instructions, right? The whole time we going, she's like, "Did you read the instructions?" Now, this chick right here, this chick, if I'm like, "Nah, I didn't, I forgot them," or I'm going to hear about that to next Christmas. Literally next Christmas, 365 days a year. If I don't take out the trash, see, if you read the instructions, you know how to take out the trash. You know what I mean? So right there, I'm like, this ain't a safe place. Did you read my instructions? Damn right I read them. Why stop bothering me? Matter of fact, you're stupid behind better not say nothing else to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think with anybody, man, if there's not a safe place to land or environment to land, pride is going to.
You handle that right, boss. You handle that right. You said, you know what? I did read them, but since you're so smart, you dry.
I was 25.
He didn't have that wherewithal.
Since you're so smart, you dry.
Yeah, flip like, I didn't read the instructions, man.
I ain't trying to be smart. I was like, she ain't gonna check me right here in front of my.
So at that moment, you didn't feel that you could even express that because we talked about it earlier. Because your pride was like,
exactly. My pride.
You're not finna get this upper hand on me, even if I'm wrong.
I'm not mature enough to take the high route. And just say, no, I didn't read them, and take what's coming.
Okay, so watch this though. So. You just said you're gonna hear about it till next Christmas, and this is the point I'm trying to make, and we made this earlier. Path of least resistance. Most guys ain't trying to hear all that over and over and over.
Man, no.
So you said, you know what? Let me go and lie about this, so that because guess what? If I get where we going and make the right turns, we done. Now. I'm gonna take my chance and rely on myself. If I get lost, she's gonna realize that I didn't read them. But if I get where we going, then this ain't a fight for the next 365. This ain't a fight for the next 365. Have you ever been in a situation to where you say, you know what? Whatever I'm talking about or whatever I'm not even disclosing is nothing. It's gonna be something if I say something about it. Whether it's the issue I have with the food, whether it's the issue I have with us spending time together, whatever the case may be, it ain't worth even talking about it because it's gonna turn nothing into something.
Now, I got older, I got a little different stance on that.
Okay.
Now I'm not finna sit over here. I'm miserable and you happy.
Hey man,
we're gonna throw a grenade in the room.
Listen. Hey.
I'm sorry.
I'm sitting over here
like, I'm sitting over here like, man, this is bull. And she over there happy.
That's another myth. That's another myth that we need to raise that women need to get out their vocabulary. Because if mom ain't happy, nobody's happy. Ain't no picnic when daddy ain't happy.
I'm over here steaming through this. Everything.
We may not argue the way home, but I'm going to slam on the brakes, make me
try to put some lipstick on if you want to.
Hey man, so
it's gonna be a problem.
All right. So now, a lot of times, because of pride, and we're going down the list of these things because of pride, and we're still talking about the Dak song, "To Be a Man." How hard is it for you to ask for help?
Once again, is it a safe environment? It's almost easy to ask one of you, hey man, bro, I need some help. Can you come do this? But if you coming to your woman like, hey, you know what, I need some help. I don't know. I ain't never had
Man, I'll say I'm gonna tell you straight. It's hard for me, and it's strictly because of pride.
Well, what kind of help we talking about
And
now?
Just general, just
ask for help because
I'm working on my race car. Can you hand me the hammer? Hand me the goddamn hammer, dog.
because
It ain't hard, now. Hand me the hammer.
Listen,
I need a couple of dollars.
You gotta understand. You gotta understand also that your ability or lack of ability to ask for help literally stemmed before you ever met your woman.
Yeah.
So bringing what you brought from childhood, is it easy for you to ask?
Now I'll say this. Let me flip it like this. Like I said, if I'm working a race car, hand me the hammer, dog. But if my woman's sitting over here with $100 and she know I got $2, it's hard for me to say, hey, could you give me 20, man? I need to get some gas.
Why?
Because as a man, and not because she got more than me, but I'm feeling like, I got $2 over here.
Wait. We accuse women of saying we're not mind readers. So
Well,
now you want her to be a mind reader?
No. You know I got it's $2 in my wallet.
But you might be okay.
I done open the wallet, huh?
Yeah, but you might be saying I'm cool with the $2. How does she know you're not fine with the $2?
Because I'm not cool if my girl got $2 in her pocket and she finna walk out that house. Hey,
those are your expectations on her.
But I'm just saying, if you know my expectations, T, if I know what your expectations is, I'm okay. You my son. We don't. My son. I used to tell my son, I say, hey, you got some money? He said, yeah, I got some money. I said, what you got? He said, I got $5. $5? You finna go out with the boy? You know something I don't know? Y'all hitting y'all gonna hit a bank? Man, put some money in your pocket. My expectations, you should know. If I expect that of you, I don't think the question was
about, because I hear what you're saying, right? But I think, and T, correct me if I'm wrong, like let's just say this, let's set the stage and eliminate expectations.
Okay.
Right? And I try to use your analogy, but in the way that I'm understanding it.
Go for it.
All right. It's like this. When you talk about asking for help, right? Mm-hmm. Praise and thank God that I'm at a point where I don't have to make these type of decisions. Mm-hmm. Like the Lord has financially blessed my family really well, and I'm grateful for it. Mm-hmm. Tithing is real, people. I'm grateful for it, right?
Yeah.
But if there was a situation where, let's say, I couldn't make my mortgage, I don't see me willingly coming to my wife saying, if she got it, saying, hey, I can't make the mortgage this month, you pay it, and I however you want to put that scenario.
I get you on your income tax.
I would. I can tell you right now, I would have to exhaust other options, and that's just from the pride standpoint.
I don't want to be in a relationship like that.
No. Hold on, Keith. Let me explain it this way. It's not that I don't. My pride issue, would not be that I would think, particularly my wife, that I couldn't come to her and she would make me feel some kind of way about it. That wouldn't be it's more or less that the standard I set as a man in general, where she's always to be placed in a safe place, that part of pride would have me like, man, I got to go somewhere else before I come to her.
So now that's what I'm talking about. That's before you ever met your woman.
Right.
That's you bringing into it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now here's the thing, is that what we have to understand in our quest of continuing to be better men, her position was placed as a helpmate.
Right, exactly.
I am blocking her from being in her position.
Right.
Now, if you turn to her, because you already said, I know it's not going to be an issue.
Right.
So she's saying, I'm here to help. Mm-hmm. And if you stressed over somebody here to help and I have no problem helping, well, then you stressed on your own. Right?
Absolutely.
Right. And so,
100%.
Because we talked about having a safe landing area earlier, but we also got to look at it as now
it's on us.
It's on us, right? And so the
us.
thing is, now if you test it out, and you test it out a couple times, and it's like the old thing at the kid at the store, when your mama pop your hand, eventually you stop reaching, right?
Yeah.
But if I know that avenue is there.
Go back to the sex thing, so you stop.
He ain't gonna let it go.
No, he ain't let it go.
Scientific fact.
Testosterone and ED, y'all fault.
So asking for men and asking for help in general, as men, we will try to find other
Right.
ways because we do put that pressure on our
Right,
own
right.
shoulders. You know,
Yeah.
and here's the thing. It's not to knock our women, but also the better our women understand how we operate.
Right.
Sometimes we have to go that process first and then say, okay, now I'm going to come. I'm going to come here because here's the thing. I still was taking onus of the problem.
Yeah.
If I run out of options, then I'm gonna come back. And I know women are gonna hear that and say, well, why wasn't you were first option? I was the first, second, and third option.
Right.
After I ran out of all of my options, it ain't that I went to somebody else. Forget them.
Yeah.
That was the option for me.
Right.
Then I could come and say, all right, baby, listen, this is what we need. This is what, can you help out? Can you help? And if you can do that, then we can put this thing together. So and that goes along. We talked about the pride and everything else. One of the things that we were talking about real quick in this song was when you talk about depression and suicidal thoughts, right? I've dealt with men who have had bouts with depression and suicidal thoughts, and they feel like they just can't get it together. They just can't get it right. They can't put enough wins together. They can't get over the hump, and society is telling them, if you can't do this, you're not a man.
Right.
That leadership mantle it's a heavy thing to carry, man.
Yeah.
Particularly when you don't have, as I really want to articulate this right. Because of the leadership mantle that was given to us, right? Because of that authoritative position or prophet, priest, and kingdomship that we have on us, right? You know, the option of failure is non-existent to us. You know what I mean? And you know, it's funny when you talk about guys with mental health. It's interesting how if you talk to therapists, how you'd be surprised how many men are dealing with mental health and don't know that mental health is the problem that they're having. You know, they actually think it's failure. You know, they're actually like, I often hear, unfortunately, and this will be a topic for another subject, for women say the male ego is fragile, and I keep telling them that's a dangerous thing to say. The male ego is essential, right? It's what we build everything upon, and if that foundation is cracked, everything crumbles. It's not fragile at all. It's the rock that everything in society is built upon. All right, our ability to lead, provide, to think under pressure, right? To create champions out of chaos, man. You know, that's a heavy, heavy mantle that we carry, what you said before, with a lot of pride. A lot of pride. I was watching a show recently. You know, I've never been a female before. I don't know what females hold dear,
That's good to
or
know.
what they particularly. Never mind.
There'll be a woman before 2023.
Glad to hear that.
Appreciate that, y'all. Yeah.
We play football together. I need to
I
know
was
that.
gonna say, I was gonna say, since we ain't talking about playing ball, I was gonna say we showered together. That would hold.
Had to pause on that one. Wait a minute. What?
Football.
Yeah, we used to play football together. Yeah, but anyway, right. You messed me up. I lost a train of thought.
But listen, okay, why you thinking about that? You know, so Keith, depression. Is there something that you ever felt depressed? You ever felt like, I don't even know if you even thought about, like, you know, suicide, things like that, but even at just the level of I'm depressed, have you ever felt those things yourself?
Well, depression is past. So,
but have you ever felt that you were depressed?
Okay, so let me be open. I went to therapy. Going through my divorce, I went to therapy. I said, I gotta get myself together. So when I came in, you know, she said, you're not, she said, you're just borderline. It's just a hint there, but I've been one of those people, it and I'm not gonna say what I can't do because any other day, but I've been hard on letting stuff go because I can't control it. I'm big on like if I can't control it, I'm not finna. If I can't control it, there's too much energy trying to control something I can't control. It's beyond my measure. So, nah, I can't say that. Now you said suicidal thoughts. Now is this a suicidal thought? Hey, y'all, I am not crazy. Because I'm a Christian person. I said, man, heaven got to be better than this. Now, if you want to call that a suicidal thought, I'm like, hey, if everything, that's why it's hard when people say, I died and came back.
It's an escape from it,
When people say I died and came back, I'm like, it's hard for me to believe because if it's heaven everything they say it is, I don't want to come back.
Yeah, Bossy, you ever had depression, thoughts?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying earlier. I've had depression several times, but I didn't know that that's what it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, when you deal with it, we're talking about relationships, right? I don't know if any of you have ever, you probably have, T, when you've dealt with a woman who's been abused, like over a period, and that's all she knows. She normalizes it because she doesn't know anything different.
Right.
So for me, like being in a state of not showing the world that I'm faulty, or not that I'm, you talking about like playing ball. You taught don't crack under pressure. One thing that comes into mind, I'll get to the point really quickly. Remember that year when Jordan, I think was in the finals, he had the flu, he had like 102, whatever, right? Under all circumstances, he should not have played. And nobody made him play. But Jordan was like, I don't give a darn. I'm playing. I'm not at my best. I'm not 100%, but I can't quit, right? But imagine if he could not go out there at all. He physically couldn't do it, right? And they lost the title. We all know Jordan from the practical mind, from the therapeutic mind. Jordan, you wasn't fit to play. You couldn't participate.
Right.
But to him, he's like, I let everybody down.
Right.
The rational part, and I'm saying, so that's where I was. I didn't see the rational part of it to call it depression. All I saw was we was in the championship, and me being sick wasn't an excuse. So I couldn't play.
So let me tell you something real quick as we get ready to close this out. There's a situation that just happened. University of Kansas basketball. There's a player whose mother died. He played a game the day before the funeral, right? So they in the locker room. Coach Bill Self is in there. He's crying, talking about the way that this young man played this game, helped him beat number 4 UConn, I believe, and they won the game. And so he gave him the game ball and said, hey, I can only imagine you going through having to go say goodbye to your mom tomorrow, right? Team gave him the adulation, the accolades, and now, and I showed that to my wife, and I said, I just want you to see how we are socialized as men, right? Mom is dying, compartmentalized. Right. Brent Favre had the game of his life. His dad died. 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, almost 400-some yards. Compartmentalized.
One more than Buster Douglas won the heavyweight champion. Not Mike Tyson now. The day after his mom died. Remember that?
Compartmentalized.
Right? Is it something that we lock in? And as men, we push out and lock in.
Because we understand that in a leadership position, as Bossy said, feelings they got to get out the way, right? And and I wanted to show her that situation because it's irrelevant to the Jordan situation. And I said, hey, if he could play, I said his teammates would have said, hey, we understand. You can't play. Go see your mom or say goodbye to your mom, whatever. I said, but there's no accolades in that. Hey, we understand, man. We'll see you next. Hey, how you doing? You all right? Men don't like a lot of empathy, sympathy, and all that stuff.
Right.
But when he played, the team, the coach, everybody was like, yo. And the coach even said, this is what separates winners.
Right. Yeah,
right? So the alternate message to that is what?
Don't operate on feelings.
And if you can't do this, then you become in the loser category, right? And so this was a conversation that I wanted to have with a couple guys to where we can have this understanding, because we understand how we'll socialize. And I'm gonna tell you, ladies, a lot of times, even the things you say, and you guys tell me if you agree or not, the things you say to us that are feel good stuff, we generally don't believe you really mean it. It's too harsh to say the reality. We understand that, yo, if I don't perform, you don't want me, because the only reason you want me is because how I perform in any capacity.
Right.
You got to understand that in this world of feminine energy and masculine energy, we are trying to make sure that we have the perfect alignment. I don't like to use the word balance, because balance gives the insinuation that it's 50-50 on this side. Alignment, how do we fit in together? And all we're trying to do is make sure that you guys understand how we operate, because I think you guys tell me yes or no, I believe that men are taught more about women than women are ever taught.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, that's a topic for
now.
Now
The question: how much is bull and how much is real?
Exactly.
Hey, I had some homeboys about in the third grade telling me some crazy stuff.
But what happens
I'm being silly.
You get taught how to treat a woman.
Yeah,
you taught how you supposed to be. How was
it's hard. It's harsh. Being taught how to treat a woman. Hey, man, what are you thinking? But, I don't know if women, because like Bossy said, I ain't never been a woman, but from just growing up, and that's another subject I don't want to hold us, seeing how women, I saw older women teaching younger women.
Yeah.
I grew up in that society where I saw that.
But I'm going to tell you this also, and as we close, some of those older women.
Oh, they were jacked up.
Go back and look at their life and say, well,
Color Purple.
At what point were you teaching some of this?
I'm tripping, y'all. Go see the movie Color Purple.
Leave it alone, man.
Again, make sure you go out and check out the song "To Be a Man" by Dax, D-A-X. Make sure you go check that out. You guys will be able to understand where the content of this show came from, and we hope that we did it justice. It was so many topics and things like that we just ran through. You guys get a chance to hear the conversation of men and how we see things and how we view things. So I'm telling you, all you have to do is understand your man more. Ask him questions, figure those things out. You might get a little pushback, because why? There's some pride, there's some ego, there's some all of that. But you have to break down that and allow him the safe space to be able to express himself. So again, toxic is the new masculinity. Shout out to you guys for watching this. We'll come back with another great episode to you guys real soon.